Barbarians!
Yes!
Yes, barbarians indeed. That and welcome for this new session of Bloodsword. Well, I'll still be playing as the Enchanter. The Trickster is Andre, Francis as the Warrior, and
Hello.
Dave as the Sage. We are now starting on book 4 of the Bloodsword series called Doomwalk.
Two people have the wrong image. I do not see your character icon.
What do you
But
mean?
I can see mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone's has the right character image.
That is odd.
Yes, that is.
I will
Restart.
reconnect. Yes.
Okay. So
When everything was going well, there are still technical issues.
So in the previous book, we finally managed to reassemble the Sword of Life. I also called the Blood Sword, but we did have to let a corrupted prince get killed, and we had to fight an old nemesis called Iken the Ungodly. At this point, on his final deathbed, Icon put a curse, an ancestral curse on us, and managed to steal the sword and bring it with him in the underworld. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
The world of the dead, something like that.
And now we basically have to get it back, although we do not know how. Because, well, getting on the land of the dead has the unfortunate issue that we need to die to get there.
Well, that's pretty easy in that book. You just need like a kraken and a lot of tentacles.
Usually
Or to
one
let
along with
yourself
the
be
other.
sacrificed by a Grim Reaper and then be brought back to life again.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe.
But then again, if we don't have that kind of Green Reaper around, coming back to life might be a little difficult.
Alright.
Alright, so as long as everyone's ready, I can start the introduction of the 4th book.
Yep.
Alright, the story so far. Your life of carefree adventuring was changed forever when you met an old harpist in the hills of Karth. As he lay dying after a murderous attack, he told you of the 5 entities known as the True Magi and their plans to return to the world at the end of the millennium. He made you swear to take on his quest to recover the fragments of the Sword of Life, the Blood Sword, as it is only by restoring this ancient weapon that the Magi can be opposed. Just as the Magi's agents has slain the harpist, now they directed their malice against you. Battling against terrible odds, you finally succeeded in restoring the Blood Sword, only to have it stolen from you at the moment of its descent into Sheol by your arch-enemy Icon of Yamato. Only 2 years remain before the year 1000, when the Magi's power will have waxed full and the moment of their reincarnation will be at hand. Fatima, a sorceress from whom you befriended, tells you that all is not lost. You can still retrieve the Blood Sword, but to do so, you must travel to the land of the death. Fatima leads you through the garden to a pavilion where silk-clad servants provide you with food and drink. For a short while, you're able to relax, listening to the songbirds in the trees. The sun's rise higher, scorching the dew from the grass and raising a sultry fragrance from Fatima's exotic flowers. But even in this idyllic setting, you cannot forget the urgency of your quest. When you speak of this to your hostess, she sends the servants to fetch new equipment for you. Any player who needs new arrows, weapons, or armor can re-equip from the selection she provides. So basically, re-equip your re-equip your arrows.
We have arrows again. We can fire arrows.
Oh, damn. So all my quivers are back to full.
That is correct. Please update your amount of arrows.
Ooh, I'm gonna shoot like a madman.
And I'm fairly sure our health is back, but I'm gonna check. Okay. Yeah. No, not yet. We're not yet healed. So everybody got back their arrows?
Yes.
I do not see the sage replenishing his arrow bar.
Bum, 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 bum. There it is.
Fiddling with them one more time because I'm not seeing all the options.
I was getting my arrow back.
Yeah, get their arrows back. So as you do that, I will continue reading.
Yeah.
I have another gift for you, she says, lifting a jar of scented oil. This is an ointment of healing, a magical preparation that soothes and cures the pains of battle. If any player is wounded, Fatima rubs some of the oil onto his or her wounds, which then miraculously disappear. All players can restore their endurance scores to maximum.
Yay.
Magical healing.
Yay! There is enough oil left in the jar for 10 applications, and each application will heal 2 dice of endurance. Note down on your character sheet that you have the jar. So, who will carry the jar of healing oil?
What do I? Usually I like heal you all, I guess.
If you have some space, you can.
Yeah, sure. There's a useless scroll that I picked of 5A18. I'm sure we won't use a scroll of another book, so.
More than likely.
So then I'll put jar
Oh,
of...
yeah, no, that was the scroll that was describing the story of 7 in 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably. Jar of healing, 10 dose.
Yep, you have a jar of healing ointment for 10 doses that each heal 2 dice 6 endurance.
And we probably cannot use it in combat, correct?
Let's check that.
Sounds like a yes.
I would assume it would be like any other healing item that can't be used in combat.
Well, at this point, it's not specified. So I guess that with an actual action, we could just rub the oil on us and heal.
Well, the only exceptions were the scroll, so guess if it's not specified, we could.
Yeah, no, they usually specify when some actions cannot be taken in battle. So at this point, I would say that these can.
Well, then I'm gonna heal you in battle. Of course, I will. So, well, I guess I'll need to be like close to someone to heal him, though. That
Yeah,
would be pretty
it's
logical.
it's not ruled at all, but let's just assume that you need to be in
Yeah.
melee range.
Yeah, well, that's just logical because you can't really like open the jar, throw some ointment, and just hope it will land on the injured area. So, yeah, no, I'll go like beside the person. Yes.
Yeah.
Spray and
Yes,
pray.
violate us during combat.
All right. So, and now Fatima says, rising to her feet, it is yet time for you to depart. Let's go to paragraph 127. Fatima takes you to one of the many gates leading from her hidden garden. You have seen enough of her magic by now not to be surprised when she tells you that this gate leads to the city of Crescentium, which you left only a few days ago. You must charter a ship to take you north and west to the island of Entasius, she says. Island of Entasius. Is that written anywhere here? Yeah, Entasius' island, just here. He is a wizard of some repute, and he will be able to tell you how to reach the realm of the death. What about the death focus, you ask? Surely that leads straight there. Fatima shakes her head. Of course, but you cannot follow your enemy into death's heartland by the same route that he took. It is easy enough to die after all, but you will wish to return to the mortal world once you have retrieved the sword of life. Only Entasius can help you to accomplish that. She swings the gate open and bids you farewell. Thanking her for her help, you step through and emerge on a side street of the main plaza in Crescentium. Alright, so now we have some options. We can pay a visit to the physician Emeritus. If you have met Tobias de Vanteri and wants to call on him, turn to 432. Did we meet Tobias of Vanteri? I think we didn't. I think that's the crusader I advised against visiting. And then if you decide to see about chartering a ship straight away, turn to 45. So we have two options, really, to visit the physician Emeritus, or...
Wasn't Tobias the Venturis the thief we were supposed to contact? No?
Yeah,
I think
you
it is. Just allow me a moment. I'll just check the paragraph to see if there's any description about this character, but I think that Tobias the Venturi is the
I'm hearing the warrior in echo mode right now.
No, Tobias is really the crusader, which we avoided on the previous book.
Warrior, are you? Is your mic okay?
Well, you're the only one here, Heko.
Odd.
Alright, so we have two choices. Either visiting the physician Emeritus, or trying to charter a ship right away.
Let's go meet the physician Emeritus.
Anybody against?
I am down for meeting the physician.
Alright, let's go to 193 then. Emeritus is delighted to see you safe and well, but he listens morosely as you tell him the events of the past week. So now you must descend into the realm of the Angel of Death, the land of Sheol, he says. Ah, that icon was wreaked a final bitter revenge on you, for you must know that your chance of returning is slim indeed. Be of good heart, you say to him. If no thought of failure is ever entertained, the quest must certainly succeed. I admire your resolution, says Emeritus with a slight smile. Your logic, however, I can only deplore. You laugh. Well, what can you remember about Sheol? It is best to go against the enemy forewarned. Then let us go forthwith to my library. He leads you to a room containing nearly 100 tomes and many scrolls. It is surely one of the largest private libraries in Outremer. Poring over these, Emeritus selects a faded parchment and tilts it in a shaft of sunlight to read. Death is the brother of sleep, he says, and in myth they are respectively the son and daughter of night. Sheol, which is Death Kingdom, can be reached from certain points in the mortal world where the barrier between life and death is weak, but I have no idea where such a place could be found. You look along the rows of books at the heaps of dusty scroll. You cannot afford to waste too much time before setting out on your quest, but there could be information here that might prove vital. So, do we depart at once, or do we spend some more time in the library?
Let's spend more time in the library. We might find
Of course, a sage would say
magical scroll.
yeah, it's a private library. I'm not exactly sure if he keeps his magical scrolls there.
You never know.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Maybe the physician is an archmagi in disguise.
Maybe. So, do we go... Anybody against going further into the library?
I'm all for that.
Alright, so... Since he's the only one that voiced... By the way, Warrior, are you still around? Francis? Okay, so just a moment, I'll just message him.
Hello.
Oh, okay, so yeah, now I
Is
hear
that
you.
working?
Yeah, now it's working.
And I hear you fine now.
Okay, good.
It was a little quiet.
Sorry, I was not hearing you for the last 5 minutes or so.
Seems weird.
Yeah.
We were getting worried.
Alright, so Emeritus agrees to help you with your research. But it is a large library, and there may be a need for urgency, he says, spreading his hand to indicate the sheer magnitude of the task. What shall we look for? So, we have, again, 3 choices. Do we try to find more about Antasius himself? Or do we want to know all we can about Sheol? Or do we look for references to Death himself?
I'd say let's look for that, because since we're going to go in this domain, we might find something worth worthy, I guess.
Okay, that's a sage.
Adam, can I inquire something?
Yes, you can.
When you say Sheol, can you spell that word for me?
Sheol. That's just a moment. I'll get that on the chat. There we go. Sheol, the land of the death.
One sec, I just want to make sure.
It probably pronounced something else like Sheol or something like that, but I do pronounce Sheol.
I'm just, because I think I pronounced it as Sheol.
Ah, maybe.
But it's, no, it's Sheol. Yeah, I've just heard it as pronounced as Sheol before, so that's why I was inquiring.
This
All
is
right.
weird.
So the sage is proposing that we focus our research on Death himself. The other two choices are Emeritus. Or Antasius. Sorry, or the land of Sheol, or Sheol.
Let's read about death.
Okay. So there's two votes on Death. Warrior, you're agreeing with them?
Yeah, so it seems good.
Okay, let's try and find something about Death. 429. You discover from various books on mythology and hierology that Death is an archangel called Ezrael. He rules over a grim land of lost souls, the country of Sheol, where he stands in the center of a vast plain from which he can survey all subjects. According to one source, Azrael has innumerable eyes, so that he can behold all the time and space at one glance. Very little happens that escapes his notice, and whenever one of his eyes close, a human life is snuffed out. It is now late in the day, and you are tired. The musty air of the library is stifling, and the subject matter you selected has made for a depressing read. You decide to sleep in order to reinvigorate your spirits. Go to 367. That is why, says Emeritus, you need rest after your recent adventures. Tomorrow we can decide the best way for you to set about the next phase of your quest. You realize that you are mortally tired. Thanking him for his help, you go with his servants to a bedchamber that has been prepared for you, and there fall immediately asleep. Go to 122. 122. You awaken refreshed and fall ravenously on the breakfast that Emeritus has prepared for you. Pray excuse the lapse in table manners, you say to him between mouthful. In a life of adventuring, one can never be sure when and where one will get next meal, or what it will consist of. He gives a wave of his hand. Please, eat your fill. We can talk after breakfast. Each wounded player recovers endurance point equal to 1 plus half their rank, rounding fractions up. We had an opportunity to get injured?
Maybe if we would have cut our finger, we could have a paper
On one of
cut.
the book.
A paper
But
cut,
no,
perhaps.
I mean that in the beginning of this book, we were healed fully.
Maybe
Yeah.
we could have a paper cut. You don't know.
We don't know, but
Maybe like 4d6 of damage for a very nasty paper cut.
anywho, let's go to paragraph 50. Emeritus offers you provisions for your journey if you have need of them. Each player can take a week's supply of salt beef, nuts, biscuits, and dried fruit. 1 week's ration for one person count as a single item for encumbrance purposes.
I'm gonna take a 1 week ration since it's offered.
Do you still have some space?
1.
Didn't you take it for the jar of healing oil?
I threw this useless scroll for that, so
yeah,
I
right.
still have space.
Do I have space myself? Yeah, I have plenty of space. I still have the 4 candles from the from 2 books ago, and the skull amulet.
I
Still
still
have a week of rations from the other book.
Yeah, I actually have a week of rations from the other book as well. Let's consider I throw the old rations away and I take the new rations.
I guess 2 ration for 2 weeks.
Actually, each week counts as an item.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still have the previous amount from
Me too.
the other
I'm not
book.
taking another week of rations.
I still have a pair of crystal eyes.
Yeah, this one could be useful actually, so keep them around.
Yep, I will do.
Alright, Emeritus of
No,
Supervision. Apart from this, I can give you little aid, he says. I do not charge my patience, so I'm far from being a rich man. However, it may be worth your while to seek out the captain of a ship named the Providence. I once cured him of the egg? What's that? What is that disease? So, I'll just
Write
go-
it down.
Yeah, of the egg. Not aguero. Egg. Malaria or some other illness involving fever and shivering. Okay. And apparently that's pronounced ague.
Yeah, ague.
Ague sounds right. Also, I need to go pick up my food.
Okay. Well, let's pause that for a moment. And we're back. Okay, so Emeritus gives us food and says to talk to the captain of the Providence because Emeritus once cured him of the ague. Anyway, and he may be willing to do us a favor. We say to Emeritus, Emeritus, you're a good man. Your help has been invaluable. Taking up your belongings, you bid him farewell and set off towards the arbor. Go to 472. There we go. If you have already arranged for a ship to take you to Antasius' island, turn to 445. Nope, we didn't. If you have set to see about chartering a ship, go to 45, which we'll do.
Yep.
Alright, so the smells of salt spray, hemp, and tar fill your nostrils as you walk along the quay looking for a suitable ship. A young pilgrim who is walking past notices your indecision and comes over to talk to you. Good morning, he says. Are you also traveling aboard the Providence? No, you say. A pilgrim vessel, is it? He nods. Aye, bound for Ellis Land, where we can return to our homes and regale all our families with the accounts of the pilgrimage. Ah, what a joyous time it has been for us. How my family will sigh when I tell them the wonders of the Holy Land. The wonders of the Holy Land are greed, venality, and bloody war, you replied curtly. The captain of this vessel, would he be prepared to divert his course, would you say? To return to Ellis Land by way of a certain island close to the Sea of Mists? The young man throws up his hands. And place all our lives in peril? Of course not. He crosses himself and hurries away towards the Providence. You look around. There's another ship that might serve your purpose, the Golden Lance, a merchant cog. So, do we go to the Providence, or do we try the Golden Lance?
I'd say Providence.
Okay, that's his sage's vote.
I say Providence as well.
Okay. Warrior?
Just give me a small moment, though. I'll be back.
Okay. So, Warrior, you're agreeing to go to the Providence as well?
Yeah, seems fine.
Okay. Now I'll go to paragraph 291 once Thierry has come back. So far, so good. Then again, Ellis Land, for what I can see here, is closer to our goal. Not exactly the same thing, but close enough. We could find another ship there.
Mm-hmm.
You back?
Yep.
Okay. So you push through a throng of chattering pilgrims and go up to the gangplank. After making your introduction to the first mate, you are taken to see Captain Pouldreau. He is a gangling scarecrow of a man, and when he speaks, you notice a slight Cornumbrian accent. I don't know what a Cornumbrian accent is, so I will invent my own. I have 100 good pilgrims wanting to return to their home in Land, he says after you've explained why you have come to see him. Homes that some of them haven't seen in years. And here you are asking me to delay that joyous homecoming by steering a long course, and by way of the Sea of Mists, no less. A more foul and evil stretch of water it would be hard to find on God's earth. No, I cannot do that, you ask. I can do what you ask under any circumstances. The risk to my ship, myself, and my passengers is too great. If you have seen Emeritus since your return to Crescentium, turn to 376. Okay, so yes, we did. 376. The other option was to ask him to pay. Okay, so 376. Emeritus recommended you, you tell him. He thought you might undertake this voyage because he once cured you of the ague. He was paid, declares Pouldreau. Or rather, he wasn't, but only because he didn't ask for payment. No, I do not tell Emeritus how to care for his patient, and I don't see why you should tell me where to sail my ship. A favor done is a favor forgotten, it seems. You consider, do we offer him money, or would you rather go and see the captain of the Golden Lance?
What was the description for the captain of the Golden Lens?
There was none.
Oh, well,
Because
Let's
we haven't
go.
met him.
oh. I don't know if we had a description of his boat or anything.
Not that I remember.
Not that you remember. Well, we could
I'll just
go
check
and
back on paragraph 45 if I recall that's the right paragraph for when we go on the... It's a merchant cog. That's the only description we have for the Golden Lance.
Mm,
So do we try the other boat, or do we try to bribe the captain into making a detour?
do we have enough money to bribe the guy? That's...
Do we have money?
yeah. Do we have money? Nope.
I don't think we have enough. I think we should go to the other
I
ship.
have like 22 gold pieces. I don't know why, but I have 22.
I still have 8.
And the trickster has 33, but he won't tell us.
What? I don't have any money.
Oh, of course you don't. Alright, so the trickster does mention we should go to the captain of the Golden Lance. Anybody against?
We should go to the captain's what?
Of the Golden Lens. That's the name of the other ship, a merchant cog.
Well, why? Because the other one is asking us to pay him?
No, because we haven't offered him money yet. But he refuses to do the detour because there are pilgrims that he needs to put to Ellisland, and he's not willing to go to the Sea of Mist, which apparently is dangerous, just for our good favors.
Well, then, yeah, if he cannot go to our destination, let's go on the other ship. All right.
Okay. Alright, so let's see. 130 would be the next paragraph. Captain Silthor is a large man who emerges impatiently from his cabin when the deckhand tells him you wish to come aboard. As he listens to what you have to say, his broad face settles into an expression halfway between a sneer and a frown. In 2 days' time, I intend to set sail for Faro, Maine. I have a cargo to sell there, and the longer I delay, the more money I will lose. Now you ask me to disrupt my schedule by several weeks in order to convey you to a mysterious island in the Sea of Mists? What compensation can I expect? He leans forwards and narrows his eyes. What's it worth? After some intense bargaining, you get him to agree to take you where you want to go in exchange for 250 gold pieces.
Do we seem to have that fucking money?
Nope.
Nope.
But he says, return tomorrow with the money. We sail at dawn. Let's just check how we will get the money. 487.
In conclusion, all of the captain of these ships are a-hole.
There are two choices in the paragraph 487. If you do not have the money, go to 339. If you're able to pay the sum, go to 179. I don't
How
know.
the hell would we be able to pay that even in 4 books?
Actually, I think that if we use the genie's wish of fortune, we would have like a lot of money. But
Maybe.
that's another thing. Alright, so we just are not able right now. 339. The ship sails on the morning tide, and you must be on it. Your quest is doomed to fail. Somewhere you must find the money you need. If you encountered a genie a few days ago and wished for him to bestow great wealth on you, turn to 26. Well, we already spent our 3 wishes, so blah. If not, you will have to devise another plan to get the money. If the trickster is here and wishes to suggest something, he or she should turn to 363. If the enchanter wants to try something, he or she should turn to 452. If they're not in the party or don't wish to do anything for the time being, turn to 7. I, for once, am not exactly sure if I should do something. So, Trickster, do you want to suggest anything?
Oh, I'll suggest something.
Okay. Alright, so let's see.
Let's capture a nobleman and ask for a ransom. Wait, what?
Yes.
363. Let's
No,
see
I
what
cannot
the suggestion
disobey
is.
my knighthood.
To someone of your special talents, making a few hundred crowns is easy, but doing it in the space of one afternoon will be rather more difficult. You have no trouble in finding a gambling den when the sailor pass their time ashore. You see several dice games being played, and there's also a circle of ship officers and merchants playing with a deck of woodblock printed Tarachi card. So, do you want to join a card game or join a dice game?
Dice game.
Seriously? I thought it was easier
Yes.
to cheat with cards.
No. Dice game.
Okay, let's go on 383 and let's see what the dice game will give us. You are more at home with dice than with these newfangled card games enjoyed by the wealthy classes. Quickly
That's
filing
nice.
in with a group of merry sailors from the port of Mantla, you ask to join their game. To be sure, one of them replies, just place your stake on our altar of luck and draw up a pew. They all laugh at this, the great jest in a city full of over-devout pilgrims. Decide how much you will stake. You can borrow money from your companions if you're in a multiplier party, of course. Write the sum you're wagering on a piece of paper, then turn to 238. How much do you want to wager?
Take my 8 gold coins.
13. I will wager to start.
You sure? Because I'm not exactly sure if you will be allowed several rounds of it.
Yeah, I can't give you my 8 coins and go with your 30 with all the money plus mine and you'll
Well,
win.
then again, I'm not sure if.
Oh, we could do
won't be-
41.
Sorry.
Yeah,
We'll do 41 with the 8 coins as well. That'll be all the money.
41.
Do you need my money?
Oh yeah, sure. Bring it on.
We're gonna go all in on the first round, and we may not know if there's a second round.
Yeah.
I'll keep my money around just in case there's a second round.
Come on, don't you have faith in our trickster?
Considering the amount of times I supposedly had to reverse back time to see him die again and again, not exactly sure.
All right, 45.
There's no.
That is all 3 of our golds combined.
Okay, so 45. Let's see if we manage to get something done. So 238. Alright, 238. It is not long before you're able to take advantage of a pause in the game where a new flask of gin is ordered to switch the dice for a weighted set of your own. From then on, luck goes much as you want it. So, do you want to double your original stake? Do you want to win back your stake plus twice as much? Or do you want to win back your original stake plus 3 times more? So, how greedy are you feeling?
3 times as more.
Of course you are.
We gotta make the money to go on a ship.
That's a valid point.
Something tells me that it will end up in you having to roll 4 dice and getting under your awareness, something like that. I never went this route, by the way, so I don't know what happens. Okay, so you push your luck a little too far. One of the sailors snatches the dice from you before you have a chance to substitute the original unweighted pair. These aren't my dice, he growls. By Frumbo's beard, they've been weighted. We have a cheat in our midst, laddies. More than one, I guess, you say, diving for the door. They are too slow to stop you, and though 1 or 2 give chase, you easily lose them in the warren of back streets around the harbor. Still, you have lost the money you put down as your stake, so you are now worse off than before.
That's awesome.
So apparently, you were too greedy. So, if the enchanter is here, he or she should turn to 452. Okay, so let's see. 452. How can I make money?
All right, you gotta do it all or nothing.
Seriously. Loath though you are, knowing the slyness of Faltons, to summon one of these fairy beings, you have no choice. Finding a secluded cranny behind a stack of barrels on the waterfront, you utter the spell and a translucent blue figure appears beside you. Procure several 100 gold crowns for me, you tell it. I must charter a ship. It fans itself with a scented handkerchief. Seemingly appalled by the odors of the docks, it refuses to show even a glimmer of interest in your affairs. Surely you would not have me stoop to theft? murmurs. Such an act would demean us both. Instead, I'll tell you where such a sum can be found. Aye, and more, 1,000 crowns. You voice to the craftiness and purposeless malice of Fulton's. That is agreeable as long as you observe these extra stipulation, you answer. The money must be easily obtainable by a person of my ability without undue effort. Moreover, the acquisition of this treasure should involve no danger whatsoever. All shall be as you say, replies the Fulton. But first, we must strike a bargain. Turn to 501. I have to strike a bargain, apparently. The Fulton reaches into the air and plucks forth a cube of faience marked like a die. Let us gamble, he says. On the throw of 1 to 3, you forfeit nothing at all, and I serve you gratis. On a throw of 4, you must give me one item of my choice. On the throw of 5, I take your mastery of a single spell, again, of my choice. On the 6th, I get a little of your fighting skill. So, I either agree or dismiss the Fulton, and I'm guessing that since it's one of our only ways to get money, I'll have to agree.
Good luck!
And then you will take away my Nemesis spell mastery or something like that.
More than likely.
It hands you the die. Visible only to you and the Fulton, the die spins on a corner, it comes up 5. You protest, suspecting trickery as the Fulton claims your knowledge of the spell of immediate deliverance. Note on your character sheet that you can never cast the spell again. You accepted the terms willingly, points out the Fulton. Thus you cannot prevent me from taking what is due. Now follow. It flits through the streets, eventually leading you out of the north gate of the city along a rough track into the hills, where you see a jeweled door set in the side of a massive boulder. What you seek lies beyond that door. As agreed, you will experience neither difficulty nor danger in obtaining it. With these words, it vanishes. If you open the door, turn to 374. If you don't trust the Fulton and would rather return to the city, the trickster could now try something. Or if you haven't done so already, you could sell some of your belongings to raise money. If you have tried everything else, though, then you are really left with no choice but to open the mysterious door. Well, I guess I'll open the door.
Well, right now we won't be able to escape any fights. Oh, well.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it.
I did not even have to roll the dice or anything, like you didn't as well, Andre. So apparently it's kind of set up here. There's an iron ring set into the middle of the door. As you touch it, the door swings open with a groan of long unused hinges. A gust of cool air blows up from the darkened passage onto the other side, a passage leading to steps that descend into the earth. You make your way down into the gloom. A little sunlight filters down from above, glancing up the slick onyx wall of the passage. Then you notice a glow from up ahead, and you emerge into a vestibule illuminated by shining masks set around the walls. If the sage is here, he or she should turn to 263. Okay, 263. The masks depict demigods from the fringes of Marazidi myth, jinn, ifrits, and ghouls. If they have been glowing magically for the years or even centuries since the door was last opened, it is a fair guess that they are charged with other sorcerous powers as well. You have no way of knowing whether they might be beneficial or harmful, but you have your suspicions. Turn to 235. 2 tunnels lead on from this chamber. You peer along them, but they are unlit and the glow from the mask does not carry far. At the end of the right-hand tunnel, you think you caught sight of something moving, something hulking and inhuman. The left-hand tunnel seems deserted. If the enchanter is here and wants to examine the mask, he or she should turn to 336. If you take a look at the mask but there is no enchanter, turn to 280. If you get along with the tunnels, will it be right-hand one or the left-hand one? So we basically have 3 choices, either having me inspect the masks or taking the right-hand tunnel or the left-hand tunnel.
Inspects the mask.
Yeah.
That is the sage's vote. What about you two?
Inspect the mask.
Okay.
Inspect the mask.
Alright, I'll just first remove the immediate deliverance spell, which makes me a little salty, but I'll have to remove it. There we go. It is done. And then I'll inspect the masks. Let's go to 336. 336. There we go. You work a spell of Detect Enchantment over the masks. Each is powerfully charged with magical energy. Of course, you'd already guessed that much. Concentrating further, you see that the magic is partly beneficial and partly baneful. So I could either try a mask, or we could go to the left-hand tunnel, or the right-hand one.
Try a mask, you might gain a new power.
Because, yeah, of course, dealing with magic has been so much good before.
Isn't it your area of expertise?
Yeah, in the same way as when I tried to control a magic carpet, it made us crash.
Of course. I have total faith in you.
Okay, that's the sage's thing. Trickster, I believe you would want me to try on a mask as well, I guess?
Yes, I would.
Of course you would. Warrior?
Try the mask.
Okay.
Everyone's staring at the enchanter. He just lowers his head inside and is like, fucking party, why?
Huh. Huh. Apparently that paragraph is to the first player, which is the warrior. You take one of the masks down from the wall. Under your fingers, it seems to crackle with sparks of magical power. Almost unwittingly, you lift it up to your face. It flares up. There's a moment of searing pain as it touches your face. You do realize at once that it is stuck fast, and there's nothing you can do to remove it. Its effects are twofold. First, as long as you wear the mask, you think and move twice as fast as normal. This means you'll get the chance for 2 actions every round. For example, you could move and fight, or make 2 fight rolls if already adjacent to a foe, and so on. The drawback is that the mask also makes you more vulnerable to wounds. Double any endurance losses that you suffer as a result of melee or missiles, but not from spells, fatigue, disease, exposure, etc. Now that you know the powers of the masks, other players in the party, if any, can choose to put one on if they like. So do we consider that it is the warrior that put on the mask, or me? Because you basically pressed me to do this so.
No, that was definitely you that did it.
But the paragraph says first player. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually very happy to be able to make 2 turns in a row, ever since I'm not really often in danger. So I accept that drawback.
Well, let's just hope you never get wounded.
So I'll just note that down in my...
So actually, does that mean that you could actually cast a spell and memorize one then?
Yep, pretty much. Or
Well,
I can try
that's...
2 times to cast a spell if I fail the first time, which will make me more reliable in combat.
Should I get one of the masks?
Well, it depends. Do you want to be dealt double damage by every missile or melee attack?
So, like, every player could take a mask of that power?
I think there are only 3 masks, but let's just check. Well, apparently it's an option available for all players, so apparently there's enough masks for everyone.
But it's all with the same effect.
Yep.
That's... Well, for me, it wouldn't be really nice. Well, I could shoot more arrows, but again, you don't want me to get too...
Or you could walk and heal. Things like that.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, if I lose too much health after the fights, I'll be less of a reliability.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you could also defend and then move.
I'm pretty sure that you would have to move then. Well, okay, defend and then move away, you mean, right?
Yes.
Technically, no, because the movement rule says that you have to start your turn. You must have defended on the previous turn. So technically, you take 2 action on a turn, but you do not take 2 turns.
Ah, that's BS.
Well, I could... If I take the mask, I could attack and then defend.
Yup. You could.
But if you ever get hurt, you'll feel it as hell, though.
I will be opting out of getting a mask, just to say that in advance. I think I'll be fine without it.
Me, I'm perfectly happy with having 2 actions per turn. But suffers twice the damage from...
Except from spells, though. And poison.
Ranged and melee attacks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alright, me, I'm perfectly happy with that, like I said. So, Mask of Genie. Or a ghoul, or a ghost, anyway.
I'll be right back. Give me a few seconds.
Alright, be back then.
That's no, I think I'll go with the trickster's wisdom. I prefer to keep my hit point because you'll probably need me to heal you. Of course, we have 10 healing shots, but
And in a way, you cannot heal during fights. Anyway.
yeah, well, yeah, here's that. And I mean, it could be useful for as long as I have those ointment, but one day they'll run out. So I prefer to be more reliable for healing you in the long run. So I'll keep my distance from such mask, tempting as it may be.
Yeah, at my point, like I said, I just see advantages of being the guy in the back slinging spells twice as fast.
Well, at some point, I'm always in the back shooting arrows, but I'd be more efficient at shooting them. But again, I still think I'd be best suited as a healer. I'm up for your votes as well as a party. Do you think I should actually perhaps focus in shooting more? But if I get down, you might regret that, right?
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly happy with whatever your decision is going to be. On my end, I just see the advantages on my position, but I know you have been in melee once in a while.
Yeah. What do you think, Tracer?
I think you should make this decision on your own gut choice.
Yeah.
Because the
No.
Tracer could have decided to take the chance, but at this point, he decided not to. I think he's taken too much chance lately.
No,
Yeah,
I just have a better idea of trying to survive for a longer period of time without losing all my stats that I have.
Oh yeah, those wish stats that we got, which is nice.
Yeah.
Plus that one bonus from dying and being resurrected.
Oh yeah, that one bonus of fighting prowess is effectively a very nice thing.
What? You have a bonus if you die?
Well, no, there was one event in the second book in which he was taken by death without any save or something like that.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, no, I'll keep away from the mask on my end. I'll stick to my guns.
Okay, well.
Don't you mean your arrows?
Yeah, to my arrows.
But tish.
Alright, so now that we're ready for continue, do we take the right-hand tunnel or the left-hand tunnel?
Roll the d4.
I prefer we vote. At this point, since I did not do that part, I will just go with my usual vote for left side.
Same here, left too.
I vote right.
Okay, so there's 2 votes for left, 1 vote for right. Warrior, you voted what exactly?
I voted left.
Okay, so apparently 3 votes for left. 141. There's a large copper-bound chest at the end of the tunnel. Hardly daring to draw breath, you unfasten it and slowly lift the lid. The one light reflects off hundreds of glittering gold coins. It is indeed the treasure of Fulton promised you. Acquired easily and without danger. You fill your pockets with as much gold you can carry. Every 50 coins counts as 1 item of encumbrance. Oh. We need 250, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see what I can drop to get the money.
I still have one more. Well, wait. Do I have one?
2 inventory spots.
Okay.
Oh gosh, sorry. None. So slotted items. Mask. Doom. Walk. 280. Sorry, I just, for some reason, my description of the mask removed itself. So.
Do we still need the navigation charts?
We took that from the ghost ship. I actually don't know if we need them, but I just don't know.
I'm going to drop the spear and a great axe. Don't know why I have those. The spear.
What spear? What?
The spear the spear that was used to open the door.
Oh.
Last time, don't know if it was busted, but
No, I think you could pick that up again. So at this point, actually, you can drop that one.
Yeah, I'll drop my empty money pouch.
You know, you could put the coins in your money pouch as well without dropping it.
Yeah, well, I'll put the coin in my money pouch as much as I can in there. Yeah.
So,
be right back. Sorry,
okay.
I dropped something on the floor and I need to clean it. Won't be long.
So I'll take as much gold as I can.
So how much gold can we take? And put it into our
50
money
golds
pouch?
per item slot, and we can take it to up to a maximum of 1,000.
So I can take 150 on my side then.
I also will take 150 because we might need some gold later, anyway. Because I have enough inventory slots for that. I could actually take. I don't think I will need a brazier anymore. So I will just get rid of that and take an extra 50 gold. So I'll have 200. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Because money.
Yeah, well, I took a 50 here on my part because the pair of crystallize I keep, and the 3 quivers, of course I keep. So yeah, no. So that way, at least I'll have a few gold.
Well, then now I know that. No, seriously, those stats are very good for the masks. I never knew that those items were available.
Yeah, well, thanks to Trickster, since he screwed up, you got a mask.
Then
See,
again,
it all works out.
Then again, you
Yeah.
could have also not screwed up, but we would not have enough anyway. So at
You
this point,
just-
we would still go
You
there.
Everything went fine, Adam. You got a mask, you're more efficient, you just lost a very valuable spell. That's all.
Yeah, that teleport spell is gonna haunt me.
Probably. We're gonna go at one stage in the book where they're like, use the immediate delivery spell to survive because the cave is falling on you. Could happen, who knows?
Alright, is the warrior back?
Back in action.
Okay,
Sorry.
great. So, do you have some room in your inventory to take some gold?
I took 50 in my gold pouch and about 150 for the 3 other space I had.
Yeah, we have
So,
plenty enough to pay the market.
2,000 in total. We never know. They may be useful.
Yeah,
later on.
absolutely. I took 200 golds on my end anyway. So, and Trickster got 150. So, yeah.
I mean,
think we have
you
enough.
had to pay a precious spell for it, so I may as well take everything we can.
Alright, so at this point, let's just go away. We close the chest and turn to leave. 275. 278, sorry. 278, 278, 278. A creature crouches there in the passage, scrutinizing you with faceless, faceted eyes like black jewels. It seems like a horrible hybrid of insect and ape. You can now see a concealed alcove in the tunnel wall where it must have been lurking, waiting for you to pass by before shambling out to block your escape. Of course. And thanks to the damn fountain, you cannot even teleport past it. I never trust those friggin' fey creatures. But then again, the creature seems very easy to beat, so at this point, let's just move on to the, Yeah, at this point, the Fulton did not really lie, because he did say that we would get to the money without danger. We did not say we would leave with it without danger.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, so let's get that done. And I'm safely way back anyway. So that mask will not be hampering me in the slightest. Oop, and there we go. We got the pathway. Let's just move ourselves into the situation. The warrior will be at front. And if I'm not mistaken, let's just see the rest. No, actually the trickster is right next to the warrior. The sage is right here. And the creature, the treasure guardian, has a fighting prowess of 9, which is good. Damage per blow are 3 dice 6, which is less threatening now that we have some extra endurance. Psychic ability of 9, an awareness of 9, an armor rating of 1, and 45 endurance. Okay. So let's set up this monster's abilities. Alright, so let's say... There we go, Treasure Guardian, we have that. He is less threatening than Eye Candy and Godly that we got on the previous
Well,
video.
let's hope so.
No, I mean that he does less damage and has less endurance, but he has approximately the same stats.
I gotta refresh my board. Something's kind of glitched out.
What cannot you refresh?
Oh, I have to refresh. My game board got glitched out a bit.
Huh, that is weird.
It's fine.
So a Treasure Guardian. There we go. And the Treasure Guardian, I think, is about... Yeah, it's 2 cases away from you. Let's just show his stats. And let's have that shown to everyone. Save changes. There we go. We got the Treasure Guardian. Now let's deal with our turn order. Is the amount of awareness you see here, is that the right one? Now my awareness was actually upgraded to 8. However,
Yeah, I'm right.
However, the Treasure Guardian is up there as well because he also has 9 of awareness. So that makes the turn order. And now the Trickster, you're here. Alright.
See, this is why I said that my board glitched out, because I couldn't see where I was.
Okay. Well, you're just next to the warrior.
Alright.
Okay, so, Sage.
Sorry.
Don't move.
The sage's arrows are 0?
Are there 0? Just a moment.
I replenished them.
Just a
But
moment. Do it for a moment. I'll just remove his thing and put it back. There we go. Why is it set for 15? There we go. So,
You're breaking everything.
yes, I am. Anyway, so I'll actually just set up one thing. Just for the sage not to lose that, I'll just add an attribute that's called arrows on his character sheet. I'll put that to 18 on 18.
Wait, he didn't have the attributes on the...
No, he did not.
Well, that would explain it.
That's why it did not update. Let's just save the changes and make sure that the default token is replaced by the one I'm selecting right here. Saving the changes here. Now it's set up. Now you won't lose your arrows between the 2 screens. All right.
good.
So now I'll just add you back into the initiative tracker. There we go, that is done. Now it's the turn for the Treasure Guardian to advance and the Trickster to figure out what he wants to do.
Sorry, I did miss it. Does it have any armor?
He has 1 of armor.
Alright, let's shoot an arrow at it.
It does
My
hit.
arrow,
That is correct.
it does 2 damage. Because I fail at shooting arrows.
Well, no, it's just that arrows don't do a lot of damage. Alright, Warrior, Sage, Enchanter. On my end, I apparently did not get rid of my Nemesis Bolt spell, so I will keep that around and attempt 2 times to
8 damage.
Oh, that's a great amount of damage.
Uh,
No, that's
Do I-
more than that.
do I have a +1? I don't
I think
remember.
you have more than +1. You have like +2,
Yeah.
and that's because you're using. That's because you're using the Axe of Heraclos, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because his regular sword would do a bonus of +3 damage,
Yeah, but actually it's
but no fighting
it
procs.
would actually be +3 damage plus +1 because his regular damage is 2d6 +1. So it would
Yeah.
be 2d6 +4 with his magical short sword.
Yeah, but his axe actually giving him a fighting prowess bonus, which is good in
Yeah,
itself.
absolutely, absolutely. So you're giving 11, so 10 damage already on that creature, which is great. What about you, Sage?
I moved.
Oh, you moved. You know you can actually fire arrows because they don't actually calculate
I
line of
know,
sight.
but unlogical. I was in front of a wall, so my logic would just be a bit puzzled.
Okay.
So
On my
I
end,
prefer
I
to
will
give some
consider
logic
that.
to my brain.
Well, me, I will consider that I will put my end next to the corner to cast my spells. So I will stay where I am. Thank you very much. And attempt to cast the Nemesis Bolt twice. First attempt needs to have 3 or less. Nope. Second attempt needs to have 4 or less. And still nope. But still. Alright, so the Treasure Guardian will act. And will undoubtedly attack the warrior. He does hit, inflicting a total of 9 damage minus whatever armor you have. Alright, warrior, do you remove your hit points? Your endurance?
Sorry, I spaced out.
It's 9 damage minus whatever armor you have.
9.
So I think you have like 6 of armor or something like that.
I don't remember.
Well, the genie's wish gave you an armor rating of
5. Yeah. It's sorry, doing basic math
Your
is
chainmail
hard for
gives you
me.
5. The chainmail gives you 5, but I think your skin also gives you a +1, meaning that it would be 6, correct? Trickster,
Yes.
how much armor do you have?
Yeah, it would be because I have
Yeah, you have 6 of
6.
armor. Yeah,
So he would only take 3.
that's pretty much it. Alright, Trickster, you continue your onslaught of arrows.
I will shoot another arrow.
Alright.
It hits.
Yay!
It does another 2 damage.
Which is better than nothing. Alright, Warrior, Sage, Enchanter. Let's wail on him.
Yep.
Alright, the Sage does hit with an arrow, inflicting 5 damage.
5.
That is great.
Good arrow.
Please remove an arrow from your-
Die!
Oh, that is a 12 damage. Alright, on my end, I shall attempt the spell 2 more times, so now I need 5 or less. And that's a hit. Yay! Let's actually use this advanced dice roller and...
Then you'll roll all ones.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
That is a 31 amount of damage,
Okay.
which is enough to destroy it. Anyway,
Oh,
if I did roll all ones, it would make a total of 14 damage, which would not have been able to kill it, but...
Wow. It's not as satisfying, I get you.
Still, let's consider that win. So if you win, you can take your loot and return to the city. Turn to 115. Okay. You search for a comfortable-looking inn not far from the waterfront and soon find the one called the Heart of the Sunrise. Well, you're used to the whimsical names of Crescentium hostels by now. You push the door open and step inside. The babble of voices dies away as you enter, and all eyes turn to watch you. A local's place, obviously. You cross to a table and sit down, loudly calling for the landlord. The other patrons devote a few moments more of their sullen stares, then turn away. Gradually, the din of laughter, conversation, and banter returns. The landlord is an Eriwarnian with large rings on his ears. He strokes his long mustaches, and recites the tariff to you. I only have one private room, but it is a richly appointed azure chamber. Azure. How is that pronounced? Sorry, I'm stuck on pronunciation today. Is that Azure?
Azure.
Azure?
Azure.
Azure is a color, like kind of blue.
So
Yeah.
the Azure chamber. Alright. Which enjoy a prestigious reputation throughout the city. Expensive, in other words, you grunt in reply. A mat on the common floor will do. Now bring bread, hot stew, and a pitcher of wine. Do not be hasty, says the landlord. Will you not give the Azure chamber more careful consideration? At the very reasonable 10 crowns a night, it represents extraordinary value. Moreover, it cannot have escaped your notice that most of my clientele are rogues of the blackest sort. Sleep in the common room, and who can guarantee you won't wake to find a dagger in your ribs? The others have stopped talking again to listen in on your discussion with the landlord. You return to Staz with a menacing squint. So, do we agree to take the private room and pay 10 gold pieces? Or do we decide to sleep here in the common room? Well, that is a question.
Looks like they're trying to make us lose money before we get in the ship.
Well, then again, we have more than... Do we
Yeah.
have more than double what we need?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think.
So, Warrior has 200, I have 200, Trickster has
Yeah,
150.
Yeah,
I think we're pretty
let's
much settled.
let's rent the room and hope we won't get get a dagger in the back.
Alright, so I know it's probably pointless, but who pays the 10 gold pieces?
But
I
but did you need a 50 gold piece for the 250 or?
What I mean, Kiriv, is that we currently have over 500 gold pieces in total, split between the group.
Yeah, but told you had 200, right?
I have 200 on my end, and
So you would still need a 50 for the boat ride, right?
it's not 250 each. It's 250 final.
Yeah, I know. My point is, do you want to take my 50 gold so that you can at least hit the 250 and I'll borrow gold later at other persons if I need to buy
We don't
anything?
need to have the gold carried by one
I've
individual.
paid it. I've paid the $10. The
Okay.
10 golds.
Okay, thank you.
Whatever.
Thank you, Warrior.
No problem. There's no to help.
So let's go and turn to 464. We will not meet any savory character apparently in the night, or we will because we have just shown money.
Why? It wouldn't surprise me.
Excellent, he replies, counting the coins. You will not regret your decision, for this slight sum has bought you a night of most luxurious and hedonic slumber. He shows you upstairs to a large and admittedly elegant suite. Servants scurry in to light the lamps, whose rich radiance reveals a number of fine tapestries and carven panels. A window covered by a screen of filigreed ivory opens into a marble balcony, which gives you a panoramic view of Crescentium's harbor. Serve dinner, you tell the landlord. He hesitates. A sumptuous meal can be had for 2 gold pieces per person. Any player who wants to eat should deduct 2 gold pieces from their total on their character sheet. The meal gives back 1 endurance point to anyone who is wounded.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, we get
No.
free healing.
So, you dismiss the landlord and servants and settle down for the night. After a few minutes, you hear a cat squeal in the street below your balcony, and then the sound of voices urgently whispering. Do we get up to investigate, or do we try and get off to sleep?
It's a cat, of course. They're cute and fluffy.
There's also urgent whispering.
Kill the cat.
No,
Trust it.
It's a cat. Of course you can trust it.
It's a spy.
Well, of course not.
Well, spies are
cats
not
aren't.
Cats can never be trusted to serve anything but their own self-interest, so they're basically like tricksters.
Are you saying that I'm a cat?
No, I'm saying that you're not helping anything except your own self-interest.
I mean, I've helped the party get here at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
That is not
absolutely.
self-interest.
I understand that. I was just making jokes on cats and thieves. Alright, so do we investigate or do we just go off to sleep?
Always investigate.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's investigate. It's a cat. We must make sure to save him and adopt it.
So, Warrior, do you want to get some shut-eye?
It's a fucking trap.
But it's a worthwhile trap.
Yes, we'll have a new animal with us. A crow and a cat.
Alright, so let's see. An old man dressed all in black is standing under your balcony. He looks up and a meaningful glance passes between you. Then he points to a group of suspicious figures standing in the moonlight some distance away. Recognizing them as men who were sitting near you in the tap room earlier, you dodge back out of sight and strain your ears to pick up what they're saying. Must have plenty of chink to hire the Azure Chamber, whispers one. Aye, murmurs another. We can look forward to a good night's takings. They all give furtive laughs in the matter of men contemplating great wickedness. You wonder that they haven't spotted the old man who warned you, but then you glance down, you cannot see any sign of him. You retreat into the room and prepare your arms and armor. The thieves burst in a few moments later, having climbed to the balcony with a nimbleness born of long experience. They're surprised and alarmed to find you ready for them. Alright, let's see. Oh gosh, this will be a slaughter. For them. I mean by that they don't stand a chance. Alright,
Stab time?
stab time. There's like 6 thieves, each of them have 15 endurance points, and nothing very dangerous in terms of
Blood
fighting
that
stats.
time.
They have like 7 of fighting prowess, 1 die 6 damage per blow, which means they don't do any damage on the trickster or warrior. A psychic ability of 6, an awareness of 7, and an armor rating of 1. So yeah, at this point, easy pickings. Alright, let's
I could
see
always
what
use
this
more
is.
loot.
Sorry?
I could always use more loot.
Yeah. So, there's one there. There's one there. And... seriously? Okay. Oh. No. One step back. And I will have to just move that down. I'll move that down as well. There we go. How much? 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And that's all the maps that we have been allowed. So, let's get us on the right road. So, the warrior will be positioned here. The trickster is positioned here. Sage here, and me here. Then let's go with the magsmen, which is probably another term for muggers. Seriously, is there anybody that knows what a magsman is? I can only guess it stands for mugger, but
A con man who tries to deceive members of the public.
okay. Alright.
I will see if there's other definition for it.
But they're crooks. That's alright.
A confidence trickster. Yeah, they're crooks.
Alright, so there's Magsman number 1, Magsman number 2. There will be Magsman number 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For this fight, because of their low hit points, I think I want to have a fancy spell. Just for... yeah, Sheet of Lightning seems to be good we go. So that will be our preparation. Let's just give them their hit bars. It's always the more time consuming part, getting their endurance bar showing up. Do you start to see them appearing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I've done 3 of them.
It's late at night. We don't want to wake anybody else up.
No, effectively, especially since we're all probably in our rooms, not disturbing anyone, even if we were talking.
Silently kill them.
Yeah, no.
No.
I have
don't?
literally a spell called Sheet of Lightning, and I will use it. That will do some noise.
Yeah.
Alright. Now. So let's reset the turn order and give 1 turn to the mags men in initiative turn 7, which means that we take them by surprise anyway. There we go.
Stab time?
Stab time. Trickster, do your thing. Alright, that's a hit.
Sorry, just loading up my damage. There we go.
I still don't see it.
You don't see my 2d6 plus 3 damage that I did
now
with a
see
7?
Alright, 6 damage on the one next to you. Alright. This armor takes a little bit, so warrior. That's a hit. And that's 10 damage minus 1, so 9. That's 1 magsman dead. Oh, fudge. Yeah, let's just... That was a poor decision. Let's just... I'll remove that. Now I'll add 1 manually. Notice. Magsmen. Alright. Let's add them.
I was wondering, why didn't the sages try to eat us while we were...
We were full.
No, actually, the warrior took some damage with the treasure guardian.
I'll heal after this fight, don't worry.
Okay, so, the warrior having done his thing, Sage, you have an enemy just close to you, so why not use that?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm nervous about the current fight.
Yeah,
but,
so 12 damage because of the +3 with the genie spell.
Oh, that's good. So 11 damage.
Well,
because of
+3.
No,
Armor?
armor.
Okay.
Alright, on my end, I shall attempt a Sheet of Lightning, which is a level 4 spell, meaning that I need 4 or less on my first attempt. That's a 5, so I need 5 or less on my second attempt. That's a 10, so I'll wait for next turn. Alright, it's the Maximin's turn, so, let's attempt. So, the one which is close to me in the... Well, okay, there's one that's moving here. The one that's close to me in the stage will roll. If I get odd, I go to the sage. If I get even, I go to the enchanter. So that's odd, so let's go for the sage, and it hits, inflicting a total of 3 damage, meaning you receive no damage whatsoever.
Good.
As for the rest, this one, 1, 2, and 3 shall move here. 1, 2, 3 shall move here. And since there's still some room here, we'll move here. That seems reasonable enough. Alright, so, well, Trickster. Stabby stabby.
Stabby stabby.
That's a hit. Clear 1. 9 damage, so 8. That's great. Warrior wants to finish it off.
Oops.
That's 2 dice 8, but you still hit.
Yeah, I know.
How many damage? Alright, so for a 9 of damage. 9 damage, which is great. That finishes it off.
I'm confused. Pierre's character has +3 damage, and I have +2.
That's because your Axe of Heracross did not have anything except a +1
Oh
damage
yeah,
bonus.
yeah. I don't have any blessed weapon except my
Well,
sword.
you have the Axe of Heracross, but you also have a blessed short sword that gives +3 damage. That would mean you would have 2d6 +4, but it doesn't give you any bonus on fighting prowess, contrary to the Axe of Heracross.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Plus, you can throw the axe as well. So again, it's all depending if you want to
Yeah,
focus
but
on damage.
Well, I'm confused by the level up we had last session, and it was only fighting prowess which was increased, not damage, I think.
No, your damage was increased, not the fighting prowess.
Oh, it's the 2d6 plus 2. Oh, it's the
2d6 plus 1 is your standard damage, but the Axe of Heracross jumps is up to 2d6 plus 2.
Yeah.
That is the thing. Alright, the Sage, do you want to finish off the Maxman that is next to you?
Yeah.
Is that a hit?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough damage to kill it. That's great. Let's see if I manage to kill the rest. By the way, the answer will be no, because I'm technically... Even my spell does not involve enough damage for that. So, let's see. Can I get it on 6 or less? Nope. Can I get it on 7 or less? And still a no. Alright, the Magsman will attack. So, one of them is close to me to attack. Hits, because of course he does. Inflicts 3 damage, meaning I get nothing. The other two will stay 1, 2, and 3. So this one goes here, and this one goes here. Alright, so that's the end of the turns for the Magsman. And it is
Time to move.
Yep. Tricks. Oh, don't you want to shoot an arrow? Okay.
Nope.
So that's your movement, warrior.
Damn.
You can move up to 8 squares.
I can move up to 8 squares.
4 squares, sorry. Half your awareness.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
1, 2, 3, 4. Man. I am slow. That's my turn.
Okay. Sage.
Oh, someone actually came beside me.
Yep.
I'm gonna do yeah, and I hit.
Yep. The wah! It's
Yes. 7.
7, so 6 damage, which is
Yes.
good. Alright, so on my end, I shall make 2 more attempts at Sheet of Lightning. So first attempt, I need 8 or less. That's a hit. Meaning I do 2d6 plus 2 on everyone. Every enemy.
Good. Destroy them.
So that's a 9 damage, so 8 damage for everyone. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill anyone, but at least I did something.
Participated. Good job.
Not like the fight was especially hard or anything.
Oh, come on. Didn't you see how much they tried to injure us? You must give them credit, right?
They are hitting.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, they are.
They're not getting any damage on them.
So talking about the hitting Magsman, let's give them one. So there's one that clearly attacks me and hits, and does not enough damage to do any difference.
8. Because of your mask.
What?
Your mask?
Yeah, right. No,
double your damage.
It doubles the endurance damage. But here's the thing. I don't take any damage because the armor soaks it up before I get inflicted.
Are you sure about that?
Let's just check the combat rules just real quick. Actions in combat. You open an armor, reduce your dice roll for damage by the armor rating, and the result is deducted from the opponent's endurance. Alright, that's the mention. Let's go on the paragraph 280 just to figure out if they have any mention of that. Okay. Double any endurance losses that you suffer as a result of melee or missiles. And technically there's no endurance loss yet because the damage was soaked by the armor.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Alright, well, that was a good thing. So, another one will either attack the sage or the enchanter, and it attacks the sage, and it hits, and it inflicts 2 little damage to be effective. Another one will attack the trickster, will hit, and will inflict not enough damage as well.
I felt a tickle. Also, stab time. I miss.
Sorry, I just realized that I actually had 1 action left because I was able to cast my spell in my first action of the round. I will just prepare another sheet of lightning just to save myself some time.
Good.
Alright, so now, Trickster, you can do your thing.
You missed.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yes.
that's a shame. Alright, so next one, Warrior.
Well,
technically, you could wait for my spell before doing your turn because we're all on the same initiative thing. So that way you could maybe move.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until you clear.
Because anyway, the sage can actually kill the one in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sage?
And besides, I can only move this turn.
Wow.
That's a hit.
Wow.
Enough damage to whack it into death.
Yes.
Alright, on my end, I will attempt 2 times the spell. So since level 4, need 4 or less. That's a hit, miss. I need 5 or less. That's a hit. Great.
Good.
Now the remaining enemies will be inflicted 10 damage, which is enough to kill everyone.
Huzzah!
See, I had to do nothing!
Yeah. Well, you killed 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the last guys.
If you kill them, turn to 224. The 6 rogues lie dead at your feet. You can take their weapons if you want, also the leather jerkins, which have an armor rating of 1. They have 6 gold pieces among them, no doubt the plunder of a less fortunate victim earlier this evening. What about the warrior taking the gold because he had to spend it on the room?
Sounds good.
Summoning the landlord to have the bodies removed. What an awkward thing to say. You get back to sleep. The sun is already rising when you wake and realizing you are late. You gulp back mouthfuls of breakfast while pulling on your clothes. Each wounded player recovers 1 endurance point for the meal, plus endurance equal to half his or her rank, rounding fractions up for their night's rest. Considering we are all on rank 5, we recuperate 4 endurance points, which
Huzzah!
is enough for everyone to be healed. So, hey, yay! The sage won't have to waste time doing
Healing.
the healing. Yay!
That's great.
Okay, so as you leave the inn, the landlord rushes up with another man at its side. My brother here is a collector and dealer in curiosity. He begins. As you brush him aside, he adds, magical curios. If you want to see what the man has for sale, turn to 103. If you think you had better hurry to board the ship, turn to 506.
Yeah,
See what he has for sale.
He got magical stuff, of course.
Okay, let's hope we don't miss the ship. But okay, I will follow you on that. Alright, 103. Very well, you see the landlord's brother. If indeed they are even related, let's see what you have. At once, he says, nodding obsequiously. He calls to a couple of slaves who carry forward a large chest and open it. Look at this magnificent talisman, he says as he takes out a large blue jewel. It is the fabled amulet of safe voyaging, and it will protect you from shipwreck. The gold torque, on the other hand, belonged to a Jarl of ancient Tuland. It wards against spells of control and command. And these 4 swords, which I can only sell as a set, Observe the bimetallic strapwork of the hilts and scabbards. These 4 swords were enchanted by the wizard Mathor at Wayland's smithy, and always strike mightily at their wielder's foe. So we can either purchase any of these items, we can demand a demonstration. If you are not interested in your wares, you had better go to the quay and board your ship.
Well, the
The
sword.
mind controls seem interesting for me. I mean, you don't want me to be mind controlled.
Yeah. All right.
So apparently we are interested in buying what could be basically non-magical fraudulent things. Okay, let's see what he has to offer.
Could be. Could
Naturally,
be.
quality comes at a price, and my prices are therefore not cheap, he says with an apologetic smile. The amulet of safe voyaging is 30 gold pieces, but what a negligible sum for peace of mind. The torque of indomitable will is 35 gold piece, and for the set of 4 swords, I must ask 150 gold pieces. Okay, so do we buy like all of his stock and make his day as a scammer?
Nope.
How much money do we have? Do we have?
Yeah,
I have.
do you guys really think he's a scammer?
Oh, it could
I'm
be.
just
course.
joking around. I was about to buy the amulet of safe voyaging anyway.
Okay.
For 30 gold pieces.
It could be. I got 50 gold piece.
I got
So
about
you want to purchase the 4 swords? And the
Well,
4 swords is 150.
Yeah, but that depends. Do people here would need swords? I mean, I have my staff and techniques. But again, I mean,
I don't need a sword.
you trickster, do you need swords?
No, I'm good. I've got my sword.
You already got a sword of +3 damage.
I will take the torque of willpower. Indomitable. How do you spell that?
Indomitable.
Abominable.
Alright, I'll just.
How much was the cost for this torque?
35.
35.
Domitable will. There we go. I wrote that down in the chat.
Thank you.
Alright, so this one was 35 effectively. Mine is 30 gold piece. Although I'll have to let go of some gold in order to have the torque. Who wants to get 20 gold? Easy.
Oh, yeah, I can get 20 gold, I guess.
So you have enough space for 20 gold?
Well, I can just add to my 50.
No, you cannot.
Oh.
50 gold is apparently 1 item slot.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. We need bigger
I will be
pockets.
back in a few minutes.
Do you have any space left for a 20 gold trickster, or just not?
I do not. I have 3 spots for all 50 gold.
Okay.
So-
Warrior, do you have enough spot for 20 gold?
No, I have a full
Okay,
stack of inventory.
Yeah, I'll just get rid of candles. I had candles in my inventory. I'll just keep the gold here. In case.
Well, it depends. We could get rid of some gold and get the swords so we can see what they do.
We could see what they do. But then again, like I said, I don't really need a sword. And
We could ask him for a demonstration.
No, that's too late to ask for a demonstration.
But the 4 swords sounds interesting, but then again,
Well, then again, we'll discuss as a group once Andre is back. At this point.
I mean, he said they follow your will, so they're dancing swords or something.
Maybe they give a bonus on fighting prowess or anything like that. I'm not exactly sure how that will compare to +3 damage, though. But then again, we can try it. Well, it just depends on how much money we have.
Well, again, I mean,
Well,
We-
still
we
need the
see-
250 for the ship. I currently have 170 myself.
I have 50.
All right, that makes 220. What about you, Warrior?
I got 150.
All right, that makes 370.
The trickster is 150, I think.
That makes 520.
So we could, but again, depends if we
Okay.
want to.
So if there are two of you that consider the swords to be interesting to purchase, I will go with the group and we'll purchase them.
But it depends if
Anyway,
the
it's
trickster.
not like we can carry gold to the land of the dead.
Yeah, that's a bit of my point. Since
So,
our
Andre, are you
goal,
back?
Sorry, what did I miss?
Well, basically, the sage is trying to convince us to spend 150 gold, which we have enough to purchase the set of 4 swords, just to see what they give. Right now, I just want to know if anyone is interested, and that is except the sage.
well, my point is, since we cannot carry the gold infinitely, well, perhaps it could be good swords. I mean, okay, they might not give the +3 damage, but if they give decent fighting prowess, well, it's still a trade of perhaps fighting prowess versus damage. More hits would equal to more damage, so it depends.
My fighting prowess is 9. I rarely miss, so
Or
I
you
don't
could
really
have
need it.
you could perhaps have 10. Who knows?
But that's not really going to make as much of a difference, as usually when I'm missing, I'm hitting 11s or 12s in my unlovely bad luck.
What about
Well,
you?
again,
Are you interested in some other magical weapons?
There's other.
Well, I mean, you already have a short sword and the axe of Aeroclaws. Do you need more magical swords?
It's just that I'm curious what it does, but
Are you curious enough to spend 150 gold on that? Well, I mean, as a group. Because it could be interesting, it's just... I don't know.
what's everyone's opinion on it?
Well, the sage wants to. The trickster says it's not worth it because he wants to be able to inflict the damage, even though he does not know what the other swords do. And me, I'm willing to follow majority.
the enchanter could have had a better sword.
I can fork over 50.
All
If
right,
you want.
so you are interested in seeing what it does. The sage is interested in seeing what it does. I will go with them because I don't want this debate to go forever. And we have enough gold anyway to pay for the voyage. So I will fork over 50 gold as well.
Okay, so 50-50. So I'll fork the other 50.
All right. Okay, so let's go to 506.
You were all scammed. Good day to you,
That
sir.
is a possibility. If your voyage was arranged by a letter from Sir Tobias of the captain to the captain, turn to 445. Nope. If you are paying your way, are you intending to travel about the Provenance or the Golden Lens? It was the Golden Lens, so 306.
So does it say what the item does?
Nope. No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well,
Alright, so do we have the sum we agreed on? Said Silthor, shaking hands as you step on the deck. If you can pay him 250 gold piece, pay off the sum and turn to 238. Oh, sorry, just realized that... yeah, I just realized on one other thing.
did you skip something?
But because we don't... I forgot the name of the swords. And I did not add them to my inventory. Just a moment.
It's the 4 swords.
Yeah, no, that's not the 4 swords.
I think that was how you named them.
I'm pretty sure they have a fancier name. Just a moment, I'm trying to find back the nearest point. Okay. No, it's just a set of 4 swords. Okay. So I'll take one of the swords because I paid for it, of course. Alright, I take it. The sage takes 1 and the warrior takes 1 as well.
Yeah, sure.
So there's still one sword that has to be
Yeah,
sorted out.
I'll just remove. I'll just remove my magical sword that does +3 damage, or the skull amulet. Yeah, the skull amulet. I'll get rid of that and get another sword from the set. I'll have 2 swords that I will never use now.
Good.
It doesn't do anything. Is that
Might be.
what you're
That's
saying?
okay.
Well, we'll see later. So 506.
What's the name of the sword?
It's a set of 4 swords. Apparently, that was just the 4 swords. 306.
Okay. So I was right.
And so you have the sum we agreed on, says Selthor, shaking hands as you step onto the deck. If you can pay him 250 gold piece, cost off the sum and turn to 236, 2454. On my end,
Bless
I'll
you.
just get rid of 100 gold pieces, if you don't mind.
I will get rid of 100 as well on my side.
So, anybody that can fork off 50 additional gold pieces?
Nope.
Warrior?
The Trickster had an additional 50, right?
Warrior?
I did.
Okay,
Good.
so you remove the 50. Okay. Alright, so we fork up the sum. 236. Alright, 236. The Golden Lance rocks gently as the anchor is raised and the sails unfurled. She's a Carvel-built cog with a single square sail capable of making good headway if the wind is favorable, and you should reach Anthasius' island within a month. Sailors gave high-spirited cries as they sculled her out of the harbor. You wonder whether Silthor has told them yet about the long detour the ship will be taking on her hole back to Ferromain. Once beyond the harbor walls, her sail catches the wind as she is soon ploughing through the waves. Plowing through the waves. Silthor approaches, his face suffused with the exhilaration all sailors feel on returning to sea. He has another man with him, whom he introduces as the quartermaster Lockvin. If the warriors is here, turn to 189. Alright, let's see what 189 gives us. Lockvin shows you to your cabin, a cramped space under a poop deck barely 3 meters square. Measured against the typical standards of shipboard accommodation, it is the height of luxury. Turning a yellow-toothed grin at you, he says, "The captain requests that you join him for a drink in his cabin at sundown. Perhaps he'll wish to discuss your destination, but it is not for me, for whom he treats like a mushroom, to be privy of such secrets." "Indeed it is not," you tell the insidious fellow. "Be off with you." If you bought 4 magic swords from the landlord's brother at the Heart of Sunrise Inn, turn to 302.
There you go.
Okay, so let's see. 302, 302, 302, You examine the swords carefully. To your annoyance, you realize that you were swindled. The swords are not magical at all. As it is too late now to turn the ship around, you have to satisfy yourself with an expressive curse and a vow that you will avenge yourself on the man you ever return to Crescentium.
Nice. We have a vengeance vow. That's great.
Alright, if you also bought the Torque of Indomitable Will and haven't yet checked it over, turn to 249. Alright, let's go to 249, see if we have been swindled once again. 249, 249, 249. After examining the Torque thoroughly, you are convinced that it has no magic power whatsoever. It is not even solid gold, just brass with a lead core. If only you hadn't been so hasty to buy from the wretch. He obviously timed his approach perfectly, knowing you were too anxious to join the ship to give careful thought to what you are buying. So let's go to 170. So yeah.
You have We have another item too that we could examine, huh?
Nope, the option was not given.
Well, there was 3 items.
Yes, I know.
Yes, which means one of the items is the noon.
Well, one is magical in all of them, at least.
Just a moment. So yeah, I have the Amulet of Safe Voyaging. Let's see if that one will work.
Or might be. They didn't say it was a scam for that one, so might be lucky.
And then we realize it's actually a cursed item.
Oh! Instead of having safe voyage, it attracts storms and unluckiness.
See, I had a bad feeling about it. That's why I said I wasn't gonna buy anything.
Yeah, I know. And I did purchase the thing that we did not yet examine, so at this point. The ship sails north by northwest, making good headway with the strong flowing wind. As the sun sinks off the port bow, you make your way to Silthor's cabin. Over a tot of brandy, he discusses the ship's course with you. We cannot be sure exactly where Antasius' island lies. Once we reach the Sea of Mist, I am prepared to devote 6 days to trying to find it. If we don't sight land in that time, we'll have to resume our voyage to Ferromain, where you can look for another ship. So, what will we reply? So that is not a bargain. You will find Antasius' island, be it a task of 6 days or 600. Or, yes, of course, Captain. That sounds entirely reasonable.
So what is it? What is it? It is offering.
Basically, he's just saying that he will search in the Sea of Mist for 6 days for Antasius' island, but no more.
Hey, you must search for all the days needed there. We paid him fucking a lot of money.
Alright, what says you, Trister?
I will just follow the lead of the sage.
Okay, Warrior, you want also to get the captain to search for more than 6 days?
Is it going to...
I don't know if it's going to affect anything.
We paid for like 3 fucking boat rides there, so yeah.
Yeah. Let's try and convince the captain.
Alright, 5 to 13. Let's see. Let's see. What says he? Silthor is rather put out by your manner. He was on the point of refilling the glasses, but instead he frowns and recorks the bottle. Aye, well, he says slowly, we'll see about that when you reach the Sea of Mists. Sensing that you have outstayed your welcome, you leave his cabin and avoid him for the next few days. 494.
Went well.
Do we have the code word flag?
Don't think we
do.
Don't think we do.
I don't remember that code word. Alright, so...
I don't think we got it.
318. 318. In the comfort of your small cabin, you are able to get plenty of rest, as there is little for you to do throughout the voyage apart from your daily regimen of exercise and combat practice. Any wounded player can restore ears or endurance score to its normal level. Turn to 359.
Hey, I'm not even needed to heal anyone.
Some 3 weeks out from Crescentium, you awaken to the sound of commotion out on deck. Emerging into the sunshine, you see the sailors crowding along the starboard rail, and shielding your eyes against the glare of sunrise, you peer across the waves. There you see a ship with sails of scarlet cloth, sails which hang furled while she lies at rest in the gentle breeze. Could she be a ghost ship? Muses Silthor as you step onto the poop deck beside him. I've heard many a tale of vessels deserted by their crews, left to ride the sea at the wind's whim. Do we suggest going alongside to investigate, or that we should sail past as quickly as possible?
Let's do Scooby-Doo. It's a ghost. It's a ship. Let's investigate.
Okay, the sage is curious. I
don't have any
well.
Scooby snacks, though.
Investigating sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
So Silthor is uncertain what to do, but he allows himself to be swayed by your arguments. If we avoid this other ship, you point out, then it could lead to all manners of rumors among the men. Even if the ship is deserted, it's better to confront the fact boldly than to let insidious speculation run rife around among your crew. He fingers his jaw. It may be that you're right. Verocchio, he called to the helmsman. Bring her about. We're going alongside. Go to 145. The golden lance gradually closes on the scarlet-sailed vessel. As you draw nearer, signs of life are spotted aboard. She's not a ghost ship after all, cries a man who has climbed the crow's nest. See that man at the wheel, and there, 2 deckhands. Nonetheless, you find it eerie the way the other ships seem only to come alive as you approach. The cries of sailors gradually drift in your ears across the grey swell. By the time you are alongside, dozens of men crowd along a rail calling to you. But you cannot escape a sensation of foreboding. Ahoy, Golden Lance, calls out the man you take to be the ship's captain. We're bound for the Sea of Mists. What have you? The Sea of Mists, says Slithor to you. You can continue your journey with them, and I can head straight for Pharaoh Main. What luck. So, do we agree to just switch to the other boat, or do we refuse to travel in the other ship?
Traveling in the other ship, though, would be risky because at sunlight we might perhaps just go and drown. It's a risk. That's unwise.
Okay, so you don't trust the other ship who serendipitously appears to the Sea of Mist, which is apparently a very dangerous sea.
Well, that depends. My main point is I don't care getting through the Sea of Mist. Though if it's a ghost ship, will it still stay physical? You know what I mean? That's mostly my fear.
But apparently it's not a ghost ship. Apparently. We still have bad feeling about this, but there are some living people in there.
Well, then, if it's not a ghost ship, oh yeah, let's cross the sea.
So you want to cross to the other boat?
Then, yeah, sure. If it's not a ghost ship, okay, fine.
What about you, Andre? Do you trust
Probably a
that,
bad idea,
chance?
but still.
That's true.
I like, something about a haunted ship, so I'll just jump onto it.
Okay, so what about you, Warrior? Want to agree to this?
What about you?
Me? I actually don't know what to decide. We have overstayed our welcome with the merchant captain, but that again, that ship was fishy.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, at this point,
To adventure! Let's investigate and go into the ship.
Yeah, anyway, 2 of our people already decided to move on, so at this point, let's go with that decision. You gather your belongings and are rowed over to the ship with scarlet sails. You cannot make out any identification, nothing that would tell you a port of origin, her owner, her nationality, or even her name. What's your ship called? You ask one of the lean-faced sailors who helped you aboard. The Anuvin, he replies. A Erewarnian vessel. We're now bound through the Sea of Mist, but we'll see you to your destination. Antasius's Isle lies dead on our course. So apparently they know where we're going, which is always a good sign.
Of course.
It sounds perfect.
Yes. We don't even have to tell them what we're doing, you know? Of course, there's not going to be a megalomaniac here trying to steal our shit or something like that. Oh, yeah, sure. Of course.
Like,
nothing
we don't
ominous.
even have the blood sword anymore, so they cannot steal it from us.
They'll probably try something, though. We'll see.
Right. Let's go. Since you had not mentioned your precise destination, the sailor's words turned your sensation of vague unease into one of certain foreboding. You would return to the Golden Lance if that didn't mean losing face. Because apparently losing face is more important than staying alive.
Of course.
Instead, you watch her sail away and then go in search of the Anuvin's captain. We have no captain, explains a man with a large silver ring on his finger. But I am, the mate Acurus. Yeah, not suspicious at all. Direct your comments to me, then, but hurry, for I see a storm approaching. You turn your gaze to the east, following his. Black clouds clot around the horizon. Only minutes ago the sky was as blue as a sapphire. Now the furled sails mutter fretfully in the easterly gusts. You shiver and follow him below. The entire ship's company is crowded into the forecastle, and oil lamps are lit and the hatches are battened down against the coming storm. How is it you know of Antasius's Island? You ask Acurus, having to raise your voice now that a harsh gale is thundering across the deck above. The ship lurches to and fro. It makes you feel queasy, but the sailors sit in stolid silence. Where else is it you would be going, replies Acarus. Now with a high wind, would you sing a song and take a drink of gin with us? You look around the forecastle. No rats to be seen, very odd about an old vessel like this. Your gaze alights to the hatch leading to the hold. It has been barred shut. So we have two choices. We can either ask Acarus about what's in the hold, or we could rather have a drink and sing in a sea shanty.
Let's ask what's in the hole.
Okay, the sage decides.
Ask. We could always ask what the holdup is.
Okay, Warrior, you're agreeing with this?
I say we go for a drink.
Okay. So, Trixie,
So
you were asking about the hold, correct?
Yes.
So
I
Yes,
don't
but-
think drinking is a good
goes into
idea.
The investigation.
Yeah, but again, the enchanter might want to wind out and take a drink. He must be very depressed because he lost a very valuable spell. So yeah, you could take a drink and go into your depressive manner after losing your teleportation
Nah,
spell.
I got a mask that compensates for it.
Okay.
He can't
I-
drink through the mask.
Yeah, I totally can. It's like a mouth open kind of mask.
Yeah, that would be bad for kind of a curse. Is that the mask cannot be removed and you have no opening to ingest food and you die of starvation. That would be horrible.
Alright, so it is not Acarus who answers your question, but a gaunt man with an iron hook in place of his right hand. And the hold, he says with a grimace, a thing which none of us can face. No, says Acarus suddenly. There's nothing in the hold. It was where... His voice trails off on a note of horror and despair. A thing none of us can face, repeats the man with the hook. So will we investigate? Or will we
Sure.
prefer to join in such revelry as they can muster?
Let's investigate. I have a very bad feeling about this.
Okay, just to be sure about the thing here, last time I did that playthrough, I did investigate the hold. I'm not going to
you
say
did?
if it's going to be bad or it's going to be good.
Oh, you did investigate?
I did investigate at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I will actually vote to sing sea shanties, not because there's anything wrong in doing the investigation, but just because, well, if the mariners don't want to face whatever is in there, it's their decision.
I mean, it sounds like we got a fight coming up if we go down into the hold. So I'm gonna go for the investigation.
Okay, Warrior, what's your feeling on this?
Same, I want to go and drink.
Alright. Oh, you want to go and drink? So that is a split between us. Meaning that we roll the dice about it. So let's say I will draw a dice for. Let's say it's odd, then we investigate. If it's even, then we drink. Correct?
Oh, that's fine with me.
Well, we drink.
Well, let's drink then,
Let's see
and then get.
what it's gonna give us. One of the sailors produces a wooden flute, but instead of a lively sea shanty to cheer your spirits, he begins to play a mournful dirge. A lank man, sallow of face and with deep-set eyes, chants in a hoarse, low voice. By the way, I don't know what's the melody, so I will just say the lyrics. Fathoms deep the darkness under them. Long the storm's tongue lashed the sail. On the seabed in coral coffins lay those whose last breath has tasted air on a time before salvation. The others join in the dismal chorus as Acarus pushes a rusty cup of gin into your hand. Ancient days, no port, no birth, never cold caress of earth, lost since ancient days. So, the scene is altogether too eerie. Do we keep drinking, or do we investigate the old?
Investigate.
The sage votes to investigate. Andre, do you still are for investigating?
Still would like to investigate.
Warrior, have you decided not to drink anymore? Or do you still want to drink?
I still want to drink.
Okay, that's still a split decision because I will not change from that. Okay, so let's roll to see what we do. And this time we will investigate.
They're too creepy, man. Like shivers.
Alright, 247. Let's see.
Was wanted to have at least a good time, but now it's all like pressing. So yeah, no. Let's investigate.
The sailors stare aghast as you unbolt the hatch leading to the hold. "Aye," cry once. "Why go unbidden down to that black horror? Stay in the light with the music. Why face which lies forgotten?" "Nothing's forgotten," murmurs the second mate, stroking the hook that he wears in place of right hand. "Nothing is ever forgotten." The ship pitches in the grip of the storm. As you throw open the hatch, there is a crack of muffled thunder from outside. You're staring down into utter blackness. Does your heart quail now? You could still turn away, fasten the hatch, and go back to a mug of gin. If you want to do that, turn to 433. If you're determined to descend, turn to 440.
Investigate!
Sage goes for investigate. I still go for a drink, actually. Trickster, what says you?
Investigate.
And Warrior?
Drink, drink, drink.
Okay, let's roll 1/3 time. And this time we keep investigating.
Yes! Investigate!
Alright, we
You
are now
will
determined to descend.
get us all killed.
No, I'll get all of
No,
us
we won't get killed. That's a
investigate.
spoiler alert, but we won't get killed. But all those mariners surely will.
They will all investigate.
You descend the steps into the darkened hold. Your feet catch on something, and you light a taper to see what it is. Bones. Dozens of molded skeletons lie in the bilge. One wears a large silver ring, and another has no hand but only a rusty iron hook. You return to the forecastle, now deserted as silent as a tomb. There is no sign that the sailors of the Anuvin were ever here. You wait for hours until the storms abate, then emerge with chattering teeth onto the deck. It is sunset. Basically, the mariners were haunting their own ship, and they bolted shut the door leading to their corpses, because if someone ever realized that they were dead, they would be dead.
Huzzah!
So,
Yes.
so basically, we killed them again.
No, they're now at peace.
I was just curious about what would happen if we just kept on drinking and participating. But then again, I will read again that book later if I ever am curious. So under the touch of the dying daylight, the Anuvin no longer looks like a proud vessel capable of taking you to the Sea of Mists. Her timbers are rotted and warped, her rigging mouldered, her blood-soaked sails in tatters. Silthor's first guess was right. She is a ghost ship. Then you see another vessel appearing out of the north. A sleek longship with her prow carved into the form of a voluptuous mermaid. Her sails are white but bear a solid black glyph, which you recognize as the Angate character EN. Along with her bows, the sunlight glistens redly on shields of beaten gold. Astonishingly, the figurehead speaks to you. Antasius has become aware that you seek his island. Come aboard and be conveyed there. Do we do as the figurehead says, or not?
Yes.
So basically, a carved mermaid at the front of the ship just says to us, "Oh, Antasius sends for you." So, Trickster says yes, Sage.
Who's Theseus?
It is the mage we are trying to get on his island. Literally.
If we stay on the ghost ship, we're probably going to die.
Probably. Yeah, sure. Let's go on the other ship.
Alright, I will agree to that as well.
So, depends, warrior? Okay.
Okay, let's go.
For days that turns into weeks, the longship bears you relentlessly north. Any players who is wounded can restore his or her endurance score to normal. Because apparently we get healed too much time. Yeah, seriously, we got
Which
healed
means we
more
have
times
missed
than we
some
actually got in the
fight.
fight.
Just
Oh,
means
right.
that we have missed some fights.
Though you
Maybe.
put numerous questions to the figurehead, she seems a creature of little intellect whom Entesius simply plays there as a diversion for passengers. Her conversation is limited to weather prediction and repeated estimations of the journey time. At night she sings in a lilting voice songs of Angate about bereavement and the faded grandeur of Silentium. The shields along the side shine magically to give her songs musical accompaniment. On the decks are blankets, food, and other comforts needed for the voyage. As you find the nights getting colder, you fetch thick furs from a locker in the stern. At last, the figurehead announces journey's end. Tomorrow we dock at the island of Magister Entesius. 71. You are in a state of eager anticipation all the next day, but it is dusk before the figurehead announces landfall. You strain your eyes to pierce the mist and gathering gloom. A bleak stretch of pebble-strewn shore looms. Is this Entesius' island, you ask? It looks like a barren rock. The two are not mutually exclusive, replies the figurehead. You may wade ashore from here. You disembark and trudge through the cold seawater up to the beach. Turning, you find the longship is already moving back away from the island. A bank of fog hides her for a moment, and then she is lost in darkness. Turn to 158. 156, sorry. You are standing on the bleak shore of Entesius' island. Tongues of mist drift in off the sea and lick around the barren rocks. You had expected a tower, or even a palace, but from the shoreline there is no sign of any habitation at all. You have come to see Entesius, says a voice. A woman in elaborate robes is standing on a shelf of rock above you. Yes, madam, who are you? I am a servitor. Follow me. She indicates a path to the ledge where she stands, and leads you by way of crudely hewn stone steps to a cave mouth. By the light of a candle she's carrying, you make your way along a narrow tunnel that ends in bronze doors. Each door is fashioned with a face and profile that, when closed, they form the symbol of the old Silentine god Janus. Janus is the god of journeys, of beginnings and endings, of thresholds. In view of your quest, this has special significance, do you not agree? She taps the door, and they swing open, admitting you to a subterranean chamber. The rough walls shimmer in trembling light cast by thousands of candles set in niches and on the tops of stalagmites. An old man sits in a stone block against the far wall of the chamber. Jagged stalactites form an arch above his seat. You could almost believe they were younger than he. In the candlelight his skin looked like wax. Entesius, says the woman. Turn to 316. Entesius' eyes glaze, and he seems to speak to himself more than to you. I remember distant days of youth, memories kept as in a glass locket. Cordelia was my love, a smile the sole cause of my heart's gladdening. I am chilled to the marrow by the cold of an unending night, and she is the only sun that can warm me. I live less in this world than in my dreams of the next, where she has gone. Sorrow spears my soul, an icy thorn that only her touch can withdraw. He looks straight into your eyes. Descend into hell, then, I beseech you, and bring her back to me. This is a high price to pay for your aid. Who can say whether such a thing is possible? Reason tells me it is not, but fie upon reason for that. Why should Azrael keep her, his rare domain, swallowing up her joy and darkening her radiance? I put my faith in fate itself that she's not lost to me forever. If this is the price you demand, you say, turning away from his burning gaze, so be it. If there's to be any returning from death's land, it will be with Cordelia or not at all. His face twists in the grip of desperate and unguessable emotions. Go then, my servitor will show you the way. The candles around him flicker and burn low. You turn to follow the woman. Go to 546. So basically we got a side quest. He says, yeah, I will get you to hell, but get my wife back.
Sure.
Cordelia, she is called, by the way. She takes you by means of another exit from the chamber along a labyrinth of tunnels that lead deep into the heart of the rock. At last you arrive at a cold room of unaddressed stone. There's one stone slab here for each of you to lie on. It makes you think of a tomb. An alabaster jar stands in an alcove at one end of the room. The woman pours from it, handing each player a goblet of odorless black liquid. Lie down and drink, she says. Then you will go to Death's kingdom. With a grimace of distaste, you quaff the liquid. The stone presses like ice against your flesh as you lie down. The room becomes darker. The woman is going out. Do you want to ask her a question? So there are several question choice, like why didn't Anthasius go himself? Or what was the liquid you drank? Or how will you find your way to Sheol? Or how will you get back? Or you could simply have no question. So, what do you want to ask?
We should ask how to get back.
Seems like a good question.
I agree.
I agree.
455. Let's see what she answers. Your fight to remain awake and hear an answer. Your vision is swimming, growing dim. You seem to be falling down a long dark tunnel while she watches you from the top. There is no turning back, she says. To return to the mortal world, you must penetrate to the very heart of Sheol and look upon the face of the angel of death. Truly it is a task. You cannot hear her words any longer. Darkness closes around you. Then we go to 471. You wake, but it still seems that you're dreaming. The room is empty and silent. You wander through the labyrinth of rock, but you cannot find a woman, or even the chamber where you met Anthasius. A piercing howl causes you to quicken your step. You see light ahead. You are on the beach, and a terrible storm is raging across the heavens. A deluge of rain envelops you, drowning out all the air. Black clouds hang like titanic warships in the sky, assailing one another with javelins of lightning. The sea seethes as a living thing. A giant hound raises its head from the surf to regard you. No, not a hound. A jackal. Anubis, the guide of the dead. His howl summoned you, and you know that he will take you where you must go. You smell his wet fur as you take hold of his flanks. His breath almost makes you choke, and his eyes are like dying embers. He strikes out into the sea, and you cling to him for dear life. Life? The dream goes on and on. You forget the sea and the storm, and now feel that you are clutching desperately for Anubis' fur in the middle of a turbulent void. The image of a massive door, closed and bolted, looms before you. Anubis plunges towards it, dragging you with him. Then you cannot see or breathe. Suddenly you know that it is not a dream, and knowing this, you scream in mortal terror as a maelstrom of chaos sucks you inexorably down into oblivion. We are now in Sheol.
Good.
You wake up to find you have been washed ashore on an unearthly strand. The sky above you is gray-green, looking like a mausoleum dome. What light there is feeble and colorless. Nearby is a ridge of rocks leading to a pebble beach. Beyond, stars cliff rise up on dreads of feet. You look to either horizon without seeing a break in the cliffs. On the cliff top, you can make out a broken ring of stone, though the only way up to it would seem to be by climbing. What I suggest, considering the time, we could make a stop there. We did the first part of the quest, which is to go to the land of Sheol, which would lead us to that map, the land of Sheol, literally. So, I guess that would be as good a time as any to actually put a pause on it and actually get back with the second part of this book on the next session. Would that be okay?
It depends if people want to continue or not.
Oh, of course. If you want to continue, we will continue.
I'm good with having the pause.
Same here.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's put that to a close then. Thanks for anyone which have watched through this whole presentation. Well, not presentation. Well, through the whole session. And, well, have a nice evening to you all.
Good evening.
Yep.
Au revoir.
Yep.
And the recording is stopped.